Some of you guys know who I am, some of you don't. Real quickly, my name is Bradley Baldwin. I'm with Eisenhower Coaching and Training, with Eisenhower Coaching and Training. So the realestatetrainer.com. So you probably found this webinar on our website, or you got an email from us, or in our Facebook group, the Real Estate Agent Roundtable. And we're going to be starting to do these, what I call Webinar Wednesdays. So the first Wednesday of every single month, probably about this same time, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, we're going to be doing a webinar on whatever topic that I feel is relevant to the industry. Okay, right now, um, I'm kind of going to do this call today on like a 2026 outlook, what you should be doing right now to launch your business in 2026, some things to think about, and kind of where we're going as an industry. I spend a lot of time with doing market research through Keeping Current Matters and different other platforms, economic platforms. So I know a lot that's going on in the market. I'm going to share a lot of those slides with you today. I'm also going to give them to you, so don't worry about taking screenshots. I'll upload them in our chat room here at the end of the webinar. So don't sweat it if you don't get it. And I have nothing to sell you, so this is not some sales pitch or anything like that. So if you want our help, I'd love to help you out. Send me a DM or an email, and we'll get you in touch with somebody that could get you some group coaching or some one-on-one coaching. We'd love to help you out as well. All right, so let's jam. So let me start this off with a story. And this is not my story, okay, but it's somebody's story, but it's a story that I've heard before, and I wanted to kind of share that. It's a story about this guy named Bob and his wife named Sally. Okay. If any of you have ever been there, I know I've been there. Um, you might be a married couple, or you might be single or whatever, but you've been in a financial situation where it's kind of rough and you're not necessarily doing really well. Okay. And it causes a lot of stress. And if you've ever been there, you know the stress that I'm talking about. Bills are due. Some of them you can pay, some of them you can't pay. You have to decide who's going to get paid, who's not going to get paid. And it's a rough life to live. And everybody's probably been there at some level. Now, that being said, let me tell you the story about Bob and Sally. Bob is laid off. All right. They're married. He's married to Sally, and he's laid off, and he's got a big job interview tomorrow. Okay. And he's kind of worried about it. He needs this job. He needs this job to get back on their feet, start creating income for their family, and things of this nature. And he's sitting there while he's watching TV, and his wife Sally runs through the door, right? Oh my God, you're not going to believe this, Bob. You don't forget that interview tomorrow. I just hit the lottery. I got a winning lottery ticket right here in my hand. It's 1.5 million. We won. We hit it. Okay. Um, so he's obviously excited. She's excited. They went out to eat and they're celebrating a little bit. And he's told Sally, he goes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to that job interview tomorrow. I'm going to go anyway for the fun of it. I've already prepared for it. I've already told them I'm going to do something. I don't want to tell somebody I'm going to meet them and stand them up. That's rude. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. So Bob, and if you've ever been there before, you know this feeling too. You got a little bit more strut to your step. Your shoulders are back. You're feeling a little bit more confident. You don't care if you get it or not. You're just going in there with all the confidence in the world because you got the lottery ticket to back up, right? You're pretty rich. $1.5 million to a lot of people, that's a lot of money. And so Bob goes in there, he nails the interview. I mean, nails it. They hire him right there on the spot, right? Hey, I want to give you the job. It's a good job. It's an engineering job. It's a great job, pays well, benefits, all that good stuff. And so he got it. And so he's excited about it, but he didn't take it right then. He goes, let me go home. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to talk to my wife, and I'll call you back this afternoon. He gets in the car, starts driving down the road, calls Sally. And Sally, right, is crying. Tears are coming out of her face. She's bawling, saying, I screwed up. I almost said a bad word. I screwed up. I didn't read the ticket right, and we didn't win. Bob says, well, good news. I nailed the interview and I got the job. So he called him back and obviously got the job. Why do I tell you this? Okay. A lot of us, especially real estate people, are going into a time of year in January, February, where, let's be honest, we don't have seasonality on our side. We don't have anybody beating down our door wanting to buy or sell a house, right? Most of our houses are sold in the second and the third quarter. So we're a little stressed right now. We're feeling a little scarcity mindset. And if you've ever taken our success mindset course from Brian Eisenhower, you know that it needs to be flipped into the abundant mindset. So what if you felt a little bit different going into 2026 with the confidence like Bob had, right? Feeling like I've got this. I'm one of the best agents around. I take my trainings. I'm always here to learn. I'm always constantly growing. I've got a healthy body, a great mindset, and I'm going to go into 2026 with a different point of view. I don't care if I get the listing or not because I've got a pipeline full of listings right behind me, right? And when you start to go in with more of an abundant mindset through this calendar year or anything that you do, you're more than likely going to come out ahead because of the confidence that it rings through your voice, the way you speak, the way you act. So whether you're a leader or a new agent, all of that resonates because if you're a leader, especially leading a team or a brokerage, and you're going through right now and with the economic things that we got going on in America and all this stuff, and it's crazy stuff. It's going to hurt you because people can see that stress in your eyes. Okay, so go with an abundant mindset, and let's jump into the material. Okay, so what's 2026 look like? Well, I wish I had a crystal ball. I don't, but what I do have is some predictions. Okay. Here's the thing that I do know. 24% of the agents last year are not in business. They left. They said, bye-bye, I'm out of here. Okay. They couldn't handle the stress. You obviously are here because you can. Here's the thing, all signs are pointing north. So they're thinking about a 14% increase in sales this year, which is great for us. I think we finally have made it. I'm going to show you why I think that here in just a second. But knowing that with 26% less agents and 14% sales up, that would tell us one thing, right? That there's more opportunity for us all. Now, I'm going to take you through some slides here real quick, and I want to show you why we predict that that is the outlook for 2026 and some material to kind of prove that. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Can you all see the clouds? Raise your hand if you can see clouds. And okay, good, cool. All right. So, Brian Eisenhower puts out this market update and it's in our materials. If you're a client of ours, you have access to this. I'm going to give you these slides anyway, so don't sweat it. If you're not a client of ours, I'll drop them in the chat room here in just a second. Here's why everybody's thinking that sales are going to be a little bit more than they have been in the last couple of years is because trends are usually trending. Okay. And if you look at this right here in 2017, 2018, pre-pandemic, okay, you can see that we were pretty dang steady from 2014 up until about the time the pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, it created what we call an artificial market. We never had an artificial market, right? This wasn't created by the economy. This wasn't created by whatever it might be. This was created by something different. And what it's caused was inventory to go up, inventory to go down, stress, weird stuff happened. And we all have been through that. Okay. So some of you guys have only had your license since 2020 or 2021. And you went through some of the best market that we've probably ever had as far as real estate sales and commissions and all that good stuff. In the last couple of years has been a little rough because we're starting to kind of level out and get back to that normal market. And as you can see, home sales increased from 2024 to 2025, and everybody's predicting them to get a little bit more increase in 2026 and start climbing up the ladder some more. I'm going to show you here in a second why I think that's true. Now, here's what everybody says, because you need to educate your clients on this, is home sales are down. Yeah, they're down, all right, right? But if you look at this, our volume is up. Meaning, number one, houses are selling for more, our commission dollars are more, everything is more because the homes that we're selling them for more money than we have. And it's always been on the upcline from this. The reason being is the lack of inventory. Okay. Now, the inventory is rising a little bit, like they are in most of the country. Some countries, like where I live, they're rising a little bit faster than they are in some other parts of the country. Here in Dallas, they're going skyrocket. Their listings are popping up everywhere. They're everywhere, and so that is going to keep prices from exploding and increasing as fast as they were. And as you can see here, okay, year over year over year, our sales volume number is going to go up, but it is flattening down based on that. Now, I'm not going to go through all this stuff, so don't worry about this. I do want to show you this though. This is a really good conversation to have with your clients. You look back in 2019, pre-pandemic, okay, we're running about 49 days on the market, 45, right there in 40. And if you look right over here, our days on market's inching up. Between here and here is that word artificial. We had the pandemic, we had all this stuff, so your clients that sold their house like that a couple years ago, or their friends did, or something like that, using this graph to show them that the artificial market of the pandemic drove that. Wasn't me as the real estate agent, wasn't necessarily the real estate market as a whole. We had that to compete with as well. We're just getting back to a normal level. When you have that conversation up front, that conversation will sink in deeper with the clients that you're working with currently, okay? If you say that, hey, the average days on market's running around 35, 40, and you've been tracking something different, it is a great marketing piece to bring with you. Hey, my average days on market, because I'm an ICT coaching client and I price my properties right, there's my plug. That's the only sales plug I'm going to have, though. Okay, so doing that, my prices, right, my days on market's a lot less than the average. But knowing that is very, very important. I'm not doing all that stuff. This one here, though, I think is a really good one to show. Why? Because it's annual home prices. And as you can see on this graph, right, our prices of our annual home prices is almost always on an uphill trajectory. We do have these little dips like this, These little gray lines here are recessions. This one here was the one in 2003. This one here was the big dog, right around 2007, 2008. And it does go down, but it always comes back up. And so people that are on the mend, right, saying, hey, I want to wait till the market crashes before I buy, that's the dumbest thing that they can do. Because obviously, as you can see from the history's told us, that housing prices are always going to be rising. So one of the things that come in these conversations as you're talking to your clients and your expired listings and things of that nature is people want to do what? They want to wait. So what if you said something, hey, what if there's a financial benefit to actually purchasing a home now versus waiting, or selling your home now versus waiting? Would you want to hear about that? If they said yes, great, we're going to set an appointment, and this is the reason why. If they said no, I don't care, I don't want to make more money, or I don't care if it's a financial benefit, I would be kind of worried about that person. But you could also get one a little bit deeper and say, well, out of curiosity, when we talked in October, what's changed since the last time we talked? And you can get in that conversation too. But when I bring these graphs and you bring data and you start being a little more educated, it's going to have a lot bigger effect on those conversations. Let me show you one more here. There's one more I want to show you. This one here, this inventory one. Okay. As you can see, right, back before the pandemic, 2016, 2017, 2018, we're running around 4.4 months, somewhere right in there. We had that big dip, and now we're climbing back up. So again, this is more proof of that artificial market. The artificial market, and you can't not base your pricing, you can't have your conversations on that artificial market. And so showing signs that the inventory is still going to be relatively low compared to like 2000 and 2025 where it's record high. This gray line is the long-term average. And right now we're just going to go back to average. So homes are going to be listed. They're going to be sitting on the market a little bit longer. Buyers aren't going to be knocking down our door, which kind of makes it a little bit more easier. This is one thing I don't want to talk about is mortgage rates because I tell everybody not to talk about mortgage rates and they keep talking about it anyway. And everybody that did it last year and didn't do what Coach Brad told them to do said the market rates are going to go down and the freaking rates went up. So don't ever talk about rates ever with your clients, but you can show them stuff about pricing. I do think rates might come down a little bit, but yet that's not fueling the moves. Now, let's talk about marketing for a second. All right, marketing. Now, if rates do drop from 6.8 to 5.8, there probably be an additional 550,000 home sales is what NAR's predicting. Their economic people are predicting in this country, in the United States. Probably going to be similar to for Canadian clients as well. When mortgage rates drops from 6.8 to 5.8, 5.5 million additional households will be eligible to buy, okay, including 1.6 million renters. Now, those are statistics. But here's the thing. We got to find out who are our ideal clients and who is not buying a house. I see this stuff on social media a lot. Don't be throwing away your money on rent. Buy a house. Like, okay, I get it. We get that, right? We might think that, but I think you're sending the wrong message. I'm going to tell you why here in just a second. Those people renting can't buy a house, all right? If you look at the average median first-time home buyer, the age went from 33 to 40 in the last 2 years. Why? Because houses are expensive, right? They're more and more expensive than they ever have been. So from 2019, it was 33. Today, 2025, it's 40. So your average first-time home buyer is 40 years old. So know that. Number two, 32% have children under 18 in that demographic, okay? And first-time home buyers are 21% share of the home buyers out there. So in our marketing and the things that we're sending to people, sending to our clients, marketing on social media, know who you're talking to because it makes a big time difference. Now, our first-time home buyers in 2019 were making about 33% of the market. That is going down dramatically because of the increase in prices, okay? Here's another fun fact for you from statistics. 50% of the 40-year-olds with the children are married. 25% are single women. So 75% of those people in your marketing message are married or they're single women. 10% are single men. Why less than single men? What has happened to our lives since 2018, 2017? A lot of different technology has came into the world, right? The number one cause of men not buying a house, single men, is sports betting. $5 billion industry, and it's been rising year over year at a rate of 120%. Now, I have not against sports betting at all, but I'm telling you, that's the reason why, because they don't have any freaking money, okay? But our married couples, our single women, and single women must be better with money. They have money, and they're starting to get money, but where's that money coming from? If you look at the people that are actually first-time home buyers that are buying homes, right? They're saving their money, they're working together and they're doing that. That's a great thing to do. Or they're getting it gifted from mom and dad, right? I have a 23-year-old daughter myself. There is no freaking way without my help. I don't mean this to brag. There's no freaking way. Her as a teacher and her husband as a bank teller are buying a house anytime soon. She doesn't live in Dallas. She lives in Kansas City, but I know the realtor that sold him the house happened to be my brother. He goes, remember when we used to sell these houses for like $135,000 back in, 2007? I'm like, yeah, it's like $330,000 now. And it's a fixer upper. Like there's no hardly way that they can do it without gifting that money from their parents. The reason I'm telling you this is these are the conversations that you need to start having with your clients and the right marketing messages to be sending to them. Now, who is going to be selling? Okay. Are the sellers out there are a little bit different profile. Okay. They're not necessarily the same as our buyers. Our average sellers are 64 years old, median age. Okay. They've been living in the home for more than 11 years. 50% of these people are doing number one, they're buying a newer home. They're buying a home that they don't want to be fixing up, leading to helping them buy a new construction home or having them build or actually buy a newer home that might be a resale. That's their avatar. That's what they're wanting to buy. 34% of them are actually purchasing a bigger home. So they're actually moving up in home. Okay. And when you know these things, these are the kind of marketing message that you get sent to them. You might want to be starting to send these home sellers or your past home sellers or people in that demographic in your centers of influence, sending them some information, right, about some new construction. Start sending them information about some of the newer homes that are coming on the market. And here's the one reason that they want to be moving. It's not economics. It's to be closer to family and friends. Okay? Be closer to family and friends. That's the reason that they're wanting to move. And the more that we can understand that real estate is a life change, it's not an economic change, our marketing changes to the people that we're talking to. All right. Now, as I promised you, I'm going to give you a few things that I want you to think about this year when you're talking about how to generate leads and get more clients. I think that one thing that has slipped our minds from a long time is it's easier to talk to people through technology, right? Social media, text messages, DMs. I was just talking to a client and he, which I don't, we're having a different conversation offline, but he's avatared himself as an AI and the avatar is doing the marketing. Like we are going in a way opposite direction from relationships. Not to say that AI is not a tool, it should be a tool, but yet we've lost that relationship, okay? Especially with our past clients and centers of influence. And all the cool stuff that you're seeing, the online leads, the click funnels, the YouTube ads, and all this stuff. That's all great, right? But still, statistically, 70% of the home sellers and buyers are coming through a referral or a repeat business. Okay. The thing that we are not doing is going back to understand that this is a relationship business. And having those relationships and be able to talk to a human is getting rarer by the day. So, what if you flipped it? What if you changed your perception on things and saying, you know what? I'll tell you a quick story. I'll tell you a really quick story. This is a good one. When I first started selling real estate, right? My coach at the time, he's a great guy. His name is Mark Leader. He's in Canada. He's one of my very first coaches I ever hired. He said, "This is what I want you to do, Baldwin." He goes, every time you sell a house, right? I want you to find out when they're moving, right? Find out their moving day. It's pretty easy to do. I want you to show up on moving day with pizzas and cokes. I was like, why? He goes, well, probably because they have friends and family doing that and be something to do. Me being the good student I am, I always do whatever my coach tells me to do. I'm like a little robot. So that's what I did. I'd go out there and I would do these pizzas and cokes every time, and I would meet new people. And this is before the internet, but they would get a phone call and say, "Yeah, I'm here with my realtor. They just brought us lunch," and stuff like that. I'd get those calls, and it really did help me secure those relationships, and it helped me build new ones as well. It's a great thing to do. Here's what happened. Got busy, right? You're selling 150 homes a year, which I've done. I got a plaque mountain here with no team. It's just me and an assistant. She was drunk half the time, right? You kind of lose a little bit of your time to go out there and start delivering pizzas and cokes, okay? So I stopped. Didn't happen anymore. It's the pizzas and the cokes that got you there, right? So why did you stop? Just because you got busy? I don't think so. You need to maybe think about that in a different way. So I'm going to give you a game plan now to think about your database and your centers of influence and what you should be doing right now to start building these relationships and going at a deeper level, instead of going horizontal and forgetting about what got you there. Is number one, I'm going to drop an email in here, and it's just a very simple, quick little email. And it's something that you can send to everybody today. Okay, looks just like this. Primary subject line. All right. a quick thank you, coffee on us, right? Go down here and say, let me pick a name. Hi, Dan. I just want to say thank you. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Your name. Okay. Reply to this email and I'll send you a Starbucks card on me. Okay. That will work. Some people will do that. And now you can start calling them and setting up these little coffee meetings and start to re-engage with those people. I want drop-bys, coffee meetings, and lunches back in your life, right? Calling all your past, I'll put this in the chat. Don't worry about it. Or if I don't get it to you, if you're on like a mobile phone, just send me a DM and I'll send it to you. So don't sweat it. But these little things like that are going to make the difference. The ones with that are relationship building are going to do it. It used to drive me crazy for people to do this to myself. I'm like, I don't have time for go freaking drink coffee with you, bro. Okay, well, find out what I do like to do, right? And do that with me. But I had my insurance guy sent me that email. I thought, okay, I'm going to take him up on it. I've never even met the guy. Never met him before a day in my life. Never seen him face to face. It might be kind of known. It might be somebody I want in my back pocket. So I'm going to give you a quick plan. And if you want to write this down, do it. But I want you to think about doing this to your database this year, right? Sending one mailer a month, okay? One mailer a month to everybody in your database. Hold on. Brian, I got 29,000 people in my database. I'm not talking about that database. I'm talking about your people, your past clients, your centers of influence, your vendors. I'm talking about people that know you, your Met contacts. When I say database, that's what I'm talking about. One mailer a month. Every other month, have a QR code, a website, some kind of call to action, a free home valuation, an auto email, e-alert, a mortgage rate update, whatever you want to put on there, get creative. I'm not that person to do that. There's a lot of good companies out there. Wise Pelican rings my mind. But there's a lot of good ones. I use Wise Pelican. I recommend that to a lot of my clients, but it's not the only one out there. There's a lot of good direct mail people. Go back to mail because people are getting it and people are holding on to it. And a lot of people are going to throw it away, right? But keep on doing it. I want you to send one quarter market update every single quarter to all the people in your database, the $29,000 one. $29,000 person one, but especially your past clients and your centers of influence because it's an email, it's easy. Consider doing that in video, okay? If you want market knowledge, we have it for you, but you can get it from us. You can get it from Keeping Current Matters. You can get it from your MLS. You can get it from your RPR reports. Get creative, but sending them a market update. 88% of the home sellers interviewed last year said, I want to know what's going on in the market. And 17% of the people are actually hearing from their realtor. That's a big number, right? The easiest thing that we can do is shoot a quick video about what's going on in the market. Here's the next thing. Every single person on your database needs to be getting auto email alerts about homes. One of my favorite client, you guys are all my favorites, but I do have a favorite. His name's Craig McKenzie. He's out in Washington. I'm on his drip campaigns, and you know what he sends me about once or twice a week? He sends me an e-alert about my home here in Dallas, right? About what's going on in and around my market, right? He sends me that, and then he also sends me an e-alert about the homes for sale in Seattle, Washington, out there on the coast, right? So is it interesting to me? No, I'm not moving to Seattle, and I'm not planning on selling my house. But you know what? It's probably pretty cool to somebody. I do open him up. I do see his name. I don't open every email, but that's what people want. They want to know about the market. I know you guys want to make newsletters. I've taught that for a long time, and I'm not saying not to do that, but try to put this into perspective. E-alerts are free. You can do them through your website. You can do them through the MLS. You can do them through a lot. So I've talked to a lot of people in different budgets. That's something that you can do that's very, very powerful. Okay, daily social media post on whatever channel that you want to. If you want to post on all of them, that's fine. Now, what do you post? Well, I'm not a big fan of just blurting that you're a real estate agent, real estate agent, real estate agent, real estate agent. You can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you mix it up a little bit, and you're posting a couple personal posts and a couple real estate related posts, that would be the thing to do. Now, what would you post on the real estate side of things? You sure can do your just listings and your just solds, but you'd be better off to talk about what's going on in your market. Hyper local things. That's what people want. They want to know what's going on in their market. So if you run across a vendor that you really like, maybe do an interview with them, or new restaurant, maybe some tax advantages coming up on the tax season. We've got a whole lot of stuff on that on our blog. And if you want to get more information on that, do that. But I'm just telling you what to do. Now, here's the kicker, and a lot of you are going to roll your eyes. 88% of the people want to know about what's going on in the market. 17% of the realtors stayed in touch with the market. I want you to send 2 CMAs to all of your past clients, just your past clients, every single year. One right now in January, one right now in January, and I want you to send the next one in July. Why January and July? Is because if you're focused on lead generation in January, February, and March, we start to service it in April, May, and June, July. We need more leads again for the fall. It's been that way since I've been licensed for 24 years. Okay. It's been that, and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay. I see this every year. We need to be lead generating heavy now to service the business when it comes in that March, April, May, June, and July, when most people buy their houses. Okay. One of the things that you can do is send them a CMA. I know it's a lot of work, but again, these are the types of things that are going to separate you from the competition. And I want that CMA to be in a mail format. You can do it real easy through an RPR report, or you can do it real easy through, if you have an administrative staff, to put your administrative staff on it. But doing a CMA, putting it in the mail and shipping it to your client will separate you from the competition. If you do it in January and July, you're building nest eggs. So when they're out there talking to the people at the soccer game, or they're having these conversations at work about people wanting to buy in the new year and that sort of thing, they're going to remember you. It's going to work. If you want to email them, you can, if you don't have the budget to do that, but wouldn't it be better to mail them and just do what I told you to do? I think so. I think it'd be cool. I would highly, highly recommend you do that. The next thing that we need to start doing is one client event each and every single quarter. And when you do a client event each and every quarter, for your past clients, your centers of influence, these client events, it's not about the event, but it's about the marketing that you're doing all around them. It's the calls inviting them, the calls thanking them for coming, that sort of thing. And everything that I've told you is probably pretty exhausting. And it's a lot of marketing, but that's where the money is. If 77% of the people is your database, it's been that statistically, why wouldn't I want to pour more of my time and more dollars into that? More coffee meetings, more drop-bys, more mailing CMAs, more information about what's going on in the real estate market. That is what's going to separate yourself from the competition, right? And so I want you to look at your plan that you have on your database now and say, can I take my plan? Could I sell it to real estate agents that want to improve their business? The answer is yes. More power to you. Probably the answer is no. Try to take that plan and make it work. Add a few of these things in. Be smart with your money. Do it on a budget level, but try that because it makes a big difference. Okay. So relationships, that's the key word, right? Mindset of abundance, not scarcity, and knowing your market statistics. Those 3 things will get you through this next level in the market, help you take more market share, sell more houses, make more money, and have a better life. Okay, so thank you for being on this webinar. Appreciate it. Let me drop a couple of those things in the chat because I told you I would. And I'll catch you next whenever I talk to you. All right, there's that. You're welcome. Here's the thank you email about the coffee. I'm going to go have coffee for somebody for the first time in a long time. I don't even like to drink coffee unless it's in my house, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then I want to meet the dude. So that's in there. And if you're on a mobile phone, like I said, just send me a DM or something like that, and I'll help you out, or email us on our website. I'd be more than happy to help you out any way I can. Thank you for being a client of ours. I really appreciate you are. If you're not a client of ours, Love to see you at an event. We got a lot of really great regional summits coming up. It's all on our website, therealestatetrainer.com. All of our coaching programs are on there, group coaching, whatever. And if you want more information on that, I'd be happy to help you. I'm not going to reach out to you and talk to you about it. I told you I'm not going to sell you. This is strictly value. I'll see you next Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month.